Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, that's a keyblade we're never gonna use, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Oh boy, there's gonna be a fuckload of cutscenes, a lot less of Solidus-Skully talking, so I hope you enjoy plot revelations of bullshit proportions, because, oh, we're in for plenty of them today.
Gorge, the king must be pretty far away by now. Nope, doesn't look like him. Oh. Huh? Look! That feller's got the star shard the king borrowed.
King? Oh, you must be talking about Mickey. I saw him. What?
Yep.
Huh? Hey, take it easy.
Let's go.
So, it's good to see Donald and Goofy again, at the mysterious tower, which in Kingdom Hearts 2 they said they'd never been to before. Yeah, I think I might have touched upon this beforehand, but yeah, Tetsuya Nomura did address this and said that apparently the reason why they didn't recognize it is because Yensid had renovated in the years since. I mean, we don't technically see Ventus ascending the spiral staircase that Sora went up, so... clever little shrew, you sly fox. But yeah, you do actually get to explore around this little area, you know, right up the front. No dope-ass Disney train, unfortunately. And, yeah, some rather bullshit revelations coming up, which, I mean, this is probably the biggest stretch of gameplay that I could use to talk about it, but unfortunately, I don't really have much else to say, so I'm gonna have to artificially invent gameplay that I was initially saving for, like, a cleanup/bonus video. But fuck it, I'm gonna include it here so I have things to talk about. Because I do have a lot of things to talk about in regards to the revelations of fucking Ventus' story. But, I mean, anyway, like, I mean, I've been kind of bitching about how Ventus' story just kind of meanders throughout a lot of the Disney worlds, but then it begins to plot dump almost everything towards the end of the game, which, again, it's not quite the end of the game, we still have two other stories to go through, and even in that case, the fact that Ventus' story also ties in with the whole Union Cross stuff, and therefore the current story arc of the Kingdom Hearts series going forward into Kingdom Hearts 4, does make Ventus a little bit more of a difficult character to talk about, but the biggest thing about it is that I feel like it wasn't really very well explored, and that's probably because of the fact that, well, a lot of the stuff to do with Ventus either hadn't been written yet, or, again, they just flat out didn't know what to do with this character. Again, he's a little boy with pure light, and he seems to be the apple of some dark Keyblade wielder's eyes, so, yeah. I mean, in the meantime, we have him pretty much visit Yensid, and pretty much acting as a reason to tell us where to go, rather than, you know, having a logical reason to be there. Oh, what's that over there? Is that the script? Alright, but that's enough of that shit. Cutscene go now with Corey Burton's Yensid voice.
Yensid, sir, we just got a clue as to where the king might be.
Ventus.
Huh?
Heracus has told me much about you. If I am not mistaken, you were ordered to return home.
Well, sir,
No matter.
Huh?
Mickey has difficulty following directions, too. Where is this clue to Mickey's whereabouts?
I got it!
This feller Venquist, Ventilate, Veggie,
Just got it, Van!
Sure. That's what I usually go by.
Van had it when he got here!
Please explain.
I ran into Mickey, but we got sent flying into the light. I don't know where he went. He wasn't in the same world as the one where I found that.
As I thought, Mickey has been hurling himself from one world to the next. That explains why I could not discern his location.
You can now, can you?
Yes, I can.
Mickey!
The king! Where'd he go? Is he okay?
There is a dark and powerful force that is interfering with my magic.
Just tell us where the king is, Mr. Yen Sid, sir, and me and Donald will go right there and save him.
You two? That may not be adequate.
But I'm the captain of the King's Royal Knights.
And I'm his magician.
I'll find him. I recognize the place we saw.
And you go, we'll go with you.
No, I owe him. Mickey saved me once, and I can't risk putting his friends in danger. Don't worry. I swear I'll bring him back safe.
Very well, Ventus. We will leave it to you.
Yeah, shame we don't really get Donald and Goofy to come with us, but we do get their D-Links, which, well, again, they lead to some pretty useful abilities if you level them up, and also one of the funniest abilities if you level up Goofy's D-Link. But again, I'll be showing off Donald's D-Link in this part, but in terms of what Goofy's D-Link is, it has to be seen to be believed, especially once I show it off as Aquos, so stay tuned for that. I don't show off all the D-Links in this playthrough, since certain characters have their own unique D-Links to experiment with, but I don't know, I do like to play with it where it is, and yeah, it's once we get to the Badlands that we do finally begin to see our plot revealed, and I can finally stop calling the Masked Boy, but well, in turn, it does also lead into basically the main precipice of what the Dark Seeker saga, which is, you know, Kingdom Hearts 1 through Kingdom Hearts 3 is meant to be all about. Or at least what it was retconned to be about, because, well, it's really Birth by Sleep that sort of forces in this whole Kingdom Hearts plot saga shenanigans to its fullest.
Mickey!
We meet again, boy.
Master Xehanort.
Ah, yes. So you're starting to realize what you lost. Oh, but not for good. You had to lose in order to find. Now it can all be yours again if you only reach out and take it. Reclaim the part that left you. Clash with him. Pure light against pure darkness to forge the ultimate key. The all-powerful Keyblade!
Keyblade?
Not the Keyblades you and I carry. Key, a most ancient term. Some say Kai, but the meaning is the same. Death, a letter that spells endings.
And I have the power to make it.
Correct. Ericus knows it too. He knows exactly what you are.
The Master?
Haven't you ever wondered why he never granted you permission to leave his side, to grow stronger? Ericus was frightened of you. If you were to learn the truth, realize what you are, he never trusted you. Why else would he keep you within his sight at all times?
Yeah. He never let me see other worlds, no matter how much I asked.
Go! You can ask the man yourself. Learn the truth, and remember you have a greater purpose!
am I? What has the Master been keeping from me all this time?
Okay, to get through a few things in brief, first of all, the letter Kai. Kai also meaning death. Now you also know the origins of the nobody names. Again, why is Xemnas called, rearrange people's names with an X in there? Basically, again, Axel, Roxas, Shion, Axel, Lee, dead Axel. Dead Lee. Again, Sora, Roxas, dead Sora. So yeah, that adds about 10 layers of creepiness onto the fucking whole nobody angle. But secondly, Keyblade versus Keyblade, as in the key that gains access to heaven, or Kingdom Hearts in this case. Why not call it Kai? By calling it Key, it just becomes fucking, difficult to decipher. So again, from here on out, I'm basically referring to the Keyblade as the Keyblade. So, yeah, consider this a warning.
Ventus, you're alone? I thought Akko would... Well, what matters is that you're home. You don't belong outside this world yet. You need to stay here, where you can learn...
In your prison?
What?
That's your excuse. For keeping me imprisoned here, isn't it?
What did you hear?
That I'm supposed to be some weapon. Some kind of Keyblade!
I knew it. Xehanort. He could never let it go. Wait, Xehanort! There is a reason the precepts bar us from such knowledge. Why do you seek the Keyblade? Would you blanket all the worlds in darkness? Reduce them to nothing?
But darkness did cover the world once, in legend. We know so little about the Keyblade War. Only that it was just the beginning. Amidst that crisis, a precious light was found. It is a curious tale, and one worth exploring. They say ruin brings about creation. So what then would another Keyblade War bring? When the darkness falls, will we be found worthy of the precious light the legend speaks of? I must have these answers. The Keyblade needs to be forged, and with it the door to the Keyblade War unlocked.
Fool. You would risk an apocalypse out of sheer curiosity? I will never allow it, Xehanort. Not while I live!
But once again, you have it all wrong, Ericus. Darkness is a beginning, you see, not an end. At birth, every one of us emerges from darkness into a world of light, do we not?
Poetic excuses! If words won't dissuade you, only one thing will! That power! Has the darkness taken you, Xehanort?
Not your concern.
I failed. I had the chance to stop him and couldn't do it. But I will not fail again!
Master, what do you...
The Keyblade has no place in this or any world. Xehanort has made his purpose clear, and I am left with no choice. Forgive me, but you must exist no more!
And now I'm pretty much going to start talking again, because while this is something that does occur in Terra's story as well, the dramatic showdown I feel is better saved for then, and even then I have some bullshit revelations of Erequus' utterly bizarre dogmatic teachings, which, again, Union Cross and Dark Road do go into why he is like this, but the problem is those games don't really exist yet, and while the emotions are reasonably solid, for again, like the couple of students that he's treated as pretty much as children. Okay, he has the whole one manly tear, it's a pain for me to have to do this, but you must be destroyed for the greater good and all that. And again, he does lament by the end of Terra's story, but... again, like, I mean, again, the emotional stakes are there, but the problem is they just don't connect very well, and it just becomes forced and tenuous in order to get the characters into a situation where Xehanort pretty much wins. And again, this all started because nobody knows how to fucking effectively communicate. I mean, again, you could see this initially starting with Erequus, because again, he's pretty much, oh, darkness is evil. You shouldn't talk about any of that, even though understanding it would also help people better combat it. But again, lessons that Riku, Sora, and the gang learned that these people don't, which is, I suppose, one of the more irritating aspects of when you're talking to the prequel thing, where characters don't learn lessons that other characters do, but... to be honest, my biggest issue, you know, just so I can be straight up, is that it's just not written very well. Oh, and also that's what it's like inside a portal. It's, lovely. And now we get to go to Destiny Islands. Not as a world, mind you, but as cutscene island galore. I bet you were hoping to explore around, or at least do something interesting, but no. So here's Vanitas.
Wait, Terra!
Going somewhere?
I'm through with you.
Well, I'm just getting started with you. You're strong enough now to fulfill your purpose. So what are you waiting for? Join with me, right here and now. Become the Keyblade.
No, I won't do it. He told me the only way the Keyblade can be forged is if you and me fight. Well, guess what? I'm not fighting.
You used to be too broken to talk back.
Please don't do this, Master! I'm not strong enough!
No. It is because you're trying to hold it in. Let the dark impulses waken in the pit of your heart. Release them here and now. Sharpen your fear into rage. You must. If you do not let the stone within you run its course, it will wipe you from the face of the world. Make no mistake. Do it. Embrace the darkness. Produce for your master the Keyblade! Really? You would rather die than use the power. Feckless neophyte. If I must, I will extract the darkness from within you myself. Empty creature from Ventus Riven. To you, the name Vanitas shall be given.
Yes, Master. I'll give you a reason to fight.
What?
Come and find me. At the one and only place to spawn the Keyblade. The Keyblade Graveyard. There, you're gonna see me choke the life out of Terra and Aqua. Then we'll see how long you play the pacifist.
Wait! Terra, Aqua. I swear I'll put an end to this.
Oh, thank god I finally have Vanitas' name. By the way, this is pretty much my grinding strategy that you're seeing right here, but in the case of this, it's pretty much also serving as my means of, talking about stuff until I can, well, get all the tangents that I have to say. So first of all, you know, the Keyblade, or the Kaiblade. Some call it Kai, but the meaning's the same, yeah. Again, I don't mind the idea of the, you know, the Kaiblade being a plot device, you know, in terms of gaining access to Kingdom Hearts in this, you know, roundabout manner. Again, this is pretty much the backbone retroactively added to the entire saga. Again, no mention of this in Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, but yeah, apparently this is meant to open the way to the true Kingdom Hearts. Because again, as I mentioned in Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts can be opened as either the Heart of the Worlds or, you know, the Hearts of Several Beings, which is what Organization 13 were doing. And again, there is also the Door to Darkness, which opens up a path to Kingdom Hearts, so again, several different ways to apparently get there, and yet we've never actually seen the place for ourselves. I do want us to go wonder if we'll ever actually get there, but that is neither here nor there in this case. Anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about, Ventus' storyline. Primarily how apparently he knew Master Xehanort. And again, I did mention here and there that again, he existed during the Union Cross days and he apparently at some point travelled into the future. Never really brought up in any of the significant games at this point, except for Union Cross, which again at this point has finished pretty much all of its updates. The story of Union Cross is finished, so again we do at least have something of a definitive timeline as to how Ventus got to where he was with Master Xehanort, so again, since the games won't really bring this up, well, until they do, here is me basically doing my job to summarize this. So, Ventus, in the Union Cross days, he existed eons in the past as a member of the Dandelions, which was a Keyblade union of that era, and after the original Keyblade War, you know, the place which the Keyblade Graveyard was pretty much forged after, again, he and his friends tried to figure out who would lead in the absence of their old masters. Again, basically all the Union leaders, or, you know, the Foretellers, which are pretty much our current villains in this current saga. But anyway, after some fuckery, it turns out that a fragment of darkness, not to be confused with darkness as an elemental force of nature, but rather a being in and of itself, it pretty much lashed itself onto Ventus, and because of its possession, he killed Strelitzia, who was Marluxia's sister, and is also the girl that you see in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. So again, basically, Ventus had a heart of pure light, but he was possessed by darkness, and again, in a similar way, that darkness wound up becoming, well again, what we know now as Vanitas. So yeah, Vanitas was responsible for a fair few things, and I'm guessing that it does kind of guarantee that he will show up again at some point in the future, but anyway, to kind of continue on with the story, with darkness inside Ventus, using him as a means of separating itself from the greater whole of its being, and of course, since true darkness is unable to be destroyed, he basically held it back by using his heart's pure light, so again, that's why you had characters like, you know, Merryweather and Flora or whatever going, "Oh, Ventus, you got a heart of pure light, me laddie," or... And I suppose why everybody treated Ventus like a dainty little princess. Again, another parallel to Kairi if there ever was one. Don't know why they keep comparing him with Sora, since Sora did in fact fall to darkness several times, but... whatever. Anyway, when they end up... And again, this is just kind of delving into spoilers for Union Cross, but honestly, fuck it, who cares? When they discovered that the main Union Cross hub world of that game, Daybreak Town, is just a simulation, you know, kind of similar to Twilight Town in Kingdom Hearts 2, Ventus pretty much leaves with Larxene and Marluxia's original human cells, where they arrive in the future of their world. And of course, because of that, Ventus is eventually separated from Laurium, or Marluxia's human name, and Elrena, Larxene's human name. And again, he pretty much winds up in the Keyblade Graveyard, where he's... They say he's found by an unknown figure, but I'm guessing that was probably meant to be Old Man Xehanort when he found Ventus. Again, no mention of, you know, what Xehanort did to convince him to come with him, or, you know, why Ventus doesn't really seem to remember much of his friends, or why he didn't try and look for them. I mean, I can sort of see it like post-memory loss, that again, his heart was shattered, and again, because he needed to have it repaired like we saw at the beginning of the game, you know, he didn't remember who his friends truly were, but at the same time, though, that's... It's just a little bit irritating to me, because again, none of this is explained until game's too fucking late, really, and, I don't know. I mean, again, like, it is one of the critiques that Kingdom Hearts did have around this era, in the sense that, again, a lot of people found it annoying that they had to get several different games on several different systems in order to understand the story. This was mitigated in recent years because of the fact that the games were released in HD collections, that again, if they didn't have them as, you know, actual games, you at least got to play them as movies to, you know, 358 over 2 days encoded. Then Union Cross comes along. You know, again, after all this is, you know, pretty much begun, except it's a browser game that pretty much requires you to go out of your way to learn this stuff, even though you can't easily access it. And again, there are story compilations on YouTube by the user named Everglow, I think his name is, who did do some compilations on Kingdom Hearts Dark Road and Union Cross, which, again, I would say I'd recommend you check out, but at the same time, it's also the level of presentation of Union Cross and Dark Road. Again, it's not presented with, you know, CG cutscenes or even the in-game footage that you're seeing right here. It's basically presented in a very storybook kind of style, which details some rather dark and graphic shit, admittedly, which they probably couldn't get away with in a, you know, a style similar to what you're seeing here, but yeah. The fact that we don't really have easy access to witness all these events, nor absorb the information in a very diegetic way, just makes this whole thing much more of a kerfuffle than in fact it really needs to be, and that's... God, it's just incredibly irritating. But anyway, this is the land of departure. The bridge to the castle is broken, no Eroquus in sight, and yeah. For more information, we'll see that in Terra's story, but yeah, that's pretty much my Union Cross lore dump. Again, like, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily... I'm very conflicted, because again, like, stuff like this is eventually explained, but at the same time, though, it's also quite clear at this point that Nomura had a much grander story plan in place, but the fact that it has to go so far to kind of ratchet around the events of, you know, not only Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 in order to set up its backstory, but in turn, also pretty much course-correct the future plots of the games to sort of fit this whole Keyblade War vision. I don't know. It just kind of feels like you're jamming a square peg in a round hole, which... I don't know. Again, I do like some of what came of this, but at the same time, it feels very inorganic, and that's probably my biggest problem with Ventus' story. A lot of it feels very inorganic, and a lot of his reasons for going to different places felt like that as well. But anyway, this is probably the one super boss I'm actually going to show off, not that I win, mind you, but yeah, you gain access to the Badlands again after beating the game once, so again, this is pretty much post-completion save file. And you find a little thing here, called the Lingering Spirit. This is basically a much harder version of the Vanitas boss fight, except, well, he has a lot more bullshit attacks. Vanitas uses his shot lock, and he also has status effects such as blind. So again, as you're going to be seeing right here, we have what's meant to be the Lingering Will boss fight, and again, if you want to access the Mysterious Unknown fight, which is basically what you find in the Land of Departure, which you can face after this boss fight, you need to beat the Lingering Vanitas Spirit in order to get that. And quite frankly, I had enough shit to do to complete this commentary as is, so quite frankly, fuck that. But yeah, again, it is a worthy challenge, although it's another boss fight that pretty much requires dodge roll, dodge roll, dodge roll, get one bit of pip damage in, dodge roll, dodge roll, dodge roll, skibbity bop, skibbity boo, fucking whatever hell shit. But yeah, this is yeah, you see, he causes the blind status, which pretty much reflects as that, and yeah. Can wreck your shit in no time flat. Again, if I did make sure to grind or at least get Ventus's Ultima shot lock, then maybe I could have done something with this, but I really just do not fucking care. But I mean, again, I am technically showing off the rest of the, you know, Mirage Arena. I did at least show off one secret boss, so you know what, that's more than I ever expected to show off of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, so you know what? Fuck it. Merry Christmas, this is pretty much all you're getting. But yeah, you can't use D-Links here either, so if you're expecting that to save your ass, then, well, tough really. Aqua's Auto Life would have come in really handy here, so... I'm ashamed I don't really get to use it. Oh, and since I probably only have this one chance to bring it up while we still have some time left, yeah, the whole Master Xehanort versus Eroquus thing. Yeah, part of the reason why they wanted that whole conflict was because, again, Eric was voiced by Mark Hamill, and yeah, Xehanort is voiced by Leonard Nimoy. This was pretty much a whole Star Wars versus Star Trek thing, intentionally done by the creators. Cheeky bastards. But in any case, that's pretty much all the time we have for this part, so next time in the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep commentary, well, we're pretty much heading to the Keyblade Graveyard and ending Ventus' story. Catch you next time.